And welcome back guys to episode 2 of Project XG Scrambler build. So in terms of what I want to do today, there's a couple of major things. The first one is get the swing arm off, and the second one was to cut the struts, which I had some tools lent to me, which is great. I didn't have to go out and buy those. But before I get into the build and show you guys the end result, this week's been a little bit tough. I must be honest, I'm always honest on this channel. Thinking about the build has been quite overwhelming, and it's just reminded me that I've got to pace myself doing this. There is no rush. I want to do this right, and I've just got to keep on reinforcing that in my mind. So without further ado, let's get on with the build. I hope you enjoy it. And welcome back guys. This is episode 2 of Project XG. So when we left off, I was just about to finish the handlebars, but had a bit of issues there, so I'll tackle that again today. But the main task today is this rear end. So swing arm, shocks, wheel, all that stuff off. But the big one, which will be my first ever attempt at doing something like this today, is cutting the struts. So today I'll be cutting the struts. I know exactly where I want to go, and I'll also need to cut around here as well just to release that electrical wiring. But as always, got my Harley Davidson manual helping me out along the way. But the first thing I have to do now is get that exhaust off, and that's going to be a bit of fun. So let's crack on with it. What a dodgy angle. Try and come through here. There we go, let's push this over a little bit. That's not going to work. Okay, so I've repositioned my angle. Let's see if this works. Keeping that pressure on. There we go. Yes. Coming off nicely. All right. Whew. Look at that. I was just really nervous of that bit. I was just worried that it wasn't gonna keep it secure and get it off, but geez, you can see it's really rusted all the way through onto that washer. Ugh, minging. Okay, definitely a new bolt needed. So I'm not gonna lie, this has been a bit of a pain in the ass with the exhaust. So basically I've managed to get the bolts off, which was okay. Had to undo this little contraption round here, which is all custom made. So the exhaust is now loose, but I could not for the life of me get the O2 sensors out. But then I just followed the wiring round, and basically both O2 sensors connect to these here. So what I've then discovered, just by trial and error, is simply you can pop those out and that'll release the exhaust system. I'm not joking, that was a pain in the arse. Finally, time to take the exhaust off. Now I've loosened all the O2 sensors. So I'm just going to pull the sensors through first. So rear one has come through. Let's loosen the front one up again. Same thing here as well, the front sensor. Press down. There you go. Whew, it's a bit of a struggle. Done. Here we go, so front sensor, pulling that off. And then let's take off the exhaust there nice and slowly. Like so. And there we go. One exhaust system. Boom. Oh, look at it. There it is. Okay, so after I've just removed the exhaust system, now we're going to move on to removing the rear wheel. So let's get cracking. Okay, so it's saying that we've got to remove the lower shock, as the manual says, so it doesn't cause any damage. Okay, nearly there. Just taking this out, like so. Be careful with your fingers. But remember, it's obviously supported by, I've got the 2 jacks down there, and I've also got my wife's chair when she was about 2 years old. And the other things I'm doing, guys, is when I'm taking the bolts off, I did say this in the last vlog, but I'm sticking them in this bag, and I'll write on them, as an example, shock bolts, stick them in there, chuck them at pile, so I'm not missing anything then. Good way as a noob to keep track of things. Okay, so let's move on to the left-hand side. So we've got to remove this E-clip just to get this wheel off. So, with a bit of a fiddle, let's see if I can get this off. There we go. tidy. So what I'm also going to do is actually remove the lower bolt on the shock, purely because I can't get at this axle nut very cleanly. So I'm going to do that. There we go, bolt out. Next thing, put these shocks aside, get this axle out, wheel out, top shocks, let's take them out, fully supported here, and then we're going to do the big one. Chop, chop, chop. Okay, slight problemo. Haven't got a socket big enough for this wheel, so what I've done is taken the shock off, made some adjustments to electrical, and now we're going to get on with the angle grinder cut. So first time I've done this, I'm going to mark out some areas that I want it cut. I'm not going to take it too short, purely because if I make a mistake, I can't go back. So I'd rather take it slightly longer than I would, and then I can sand it down with the other tool that I've got. So let's get on and let's do this. Okay, so first one done. Got it all. There's the electrics, lovely. Nice practice chop. Okay, change blade. Now we're going to sand this down. Let's get on to grinding. Okay, so I want to check these are now in line. So let's go from the top of the eye to the end. That's 2. And then we'll check the right one, 2 as well. Awesome. What do you think, guys? Looks pretty good. Happy with that. So that's it, guys. That is episode 2 done. Things I'm chuffed about today. Firstly, today's been a struggle. I'm not going to lie, it's been really tough emotionally and mentally for me. But cutting the struts was fantastic, really enjoyed that. Something I've got to get done on those struts is make them more rounded. So that's something I'll cover off next week. Other things I've got to get sorted is the swing arm. So now I've got that exhaust off, which was a pain in the ass. I can get that swing arm off by next week, which would be great. Back wheel will come off then really easily, and then I can start getting those wheels painted, which would be fantastic, and we can start looking forward to the next stages of the build. That is it from me. It's really short, sharp, straight to the point. I am knackered, so I'm going to go home, but I hope you guys are all well. Obviously stay well with COVID-19, and I'll see you on the next vlog, guys. All the best. Motonewbrider.